Hello, my name is Michael Strachan and I'm the Collections Manager at the Museum of Scottish Lighthouses in Fraserburgh. I'm here to talk to you today about what we can offer your school on a visit through the Clan Lighthouse project. So here in Fraserburgh we do welcome many schools to our lighthouse and museum through the term year. When they are here they'll normally have the tour of Kinnaird Lighthouse, as well as a visit around our museum to see all the fascinating objects we have on display here. Clearly we can't offer that to a class who aren't here, but we have found a way to offer that through a virtual means. A couple of years ago we had our entire lighthouse photographed on a 3D basis, so basically we have 360 views of every room in the lighthouse, basically every step in the lighthouse up the stairs. So our offer to you would be to give you a virtual tour of the lighthouse by using that program. We'd just bring it into your classroom on a USB and it would probably work in any laptop or even to be projected onto a bigger screen. So this means we could offer the tour of our lighthouse to a single class or even an entire assembly if the screen was big enough. Kinnaird Lighthouse, the lighthouse in question, is a fascinating light. It was the first one to be built by the Northern Lighthouse Board, and it is the oldest lighthouse in the mainland of Scotland. The other fascinating thing about it is it has been preserved as a manned station, so in the 3D tour all the equipment that was used by the keepers is still in place in the lighthouse. So when I deliver tours of the lighthouse to children, I don't like to go on speaking for half an hour at a time. They do find it quite boring if you just talk at them, I find. So my means of delivering a lighthouse tour is to show them around the room, and then once they've been shown around the room I will ask them questions about the objects they may see in their view. I find by doing this they learn more, it keeps them engaged, and that would be the way I'd be delivering the tour to the class or the school we went to visit. I should mention that this 3D tour takes to every room in the lighthouse, including the light room. What we couldn't do in the tour is show you how the machinery works. However, we do have other videos available in which we can show you exactly how the machinery works and what the keepers did when they were still at Kinnaird Lighthouse. So it's a unique lighthouse in that respect. In addition to the tour of the lighthouse, we can also bring a loan box along to your school. And this contains a few objects which just make it a bit easier to perhaps explain to the children what the lighthouse keeper did and how all the technology worked. We do try and keep it as simple as possible because some of these concepts would be a bit not for their age group basically. So our loan boxes, they do contain quite a few sciencey things. We've got prisms and lights in there. We have an actual lens, a small lens from a buoy. So again, that's quite useful for showing how the lights, how the lenses make the lights brighter and how they bend light. We will bring reflectors with us, which again show how the very first lighthouses worked here in Scotland. So we have experiments to show how that works. We've got lighthouse crockery, which might not sound that interesting, but you'd be surprised at how interested the kids are when they get to have a handle of things from the collection. Perhaps a star attraction in the loan box is the uniforms, because who doesn't like a bit of dress up? So we do actually have a genuine lighthouse keeper's jacket, and of course the star attraction overall is the lighthouse keeper's cap. So again, it will give the children a chance to perhaps pretend they're Mr. Grinling, which seems to go down well. We've also got flags, and in particular signal flags. So again, there's activities to be had by using the signal flags to send codes to each other, etc., etc. When we are delivering our talk and our tour, we will keep it age appropriate. We are aware, for example, that if your class is primary 1, 2 or 3, they'll probably be more interested in Mr. and Mrs. Grinling. So as well as having the additional talk from Mrs. Grinling, we can aim the tour at that age group by using Mr. and Mrs. Grinling. One tactic I deploy is asking the children how Kinnaird Lighthouse, for example, is the same as the lighthouse Mr. Grinling worked at, or perhaps different. And again, they tend to get the answer straight away, so it shows that they are very keen on the topic. Similarly, we are aware that if it's over primary 3, unless the teacher requests it for primary 4 or 5, we can leave Mr. and Mrs. Grilling to one side, and we can still offer a very interesting interactive day about lighthouses. We can tell you about the lighthouse and the technologies without taking it down a level as we would do for primary 1, 2, 3. We should mention as well, we can offer tours for academy age. Here at the museum, we're also tour guides for paying adults. So we can really aim this experience at any age group you might want to do the project with. We are not phased, we can deal with anything you throw at us really. In fact, we do enjoy the challenge. In addition to all this, we can offer some activities as well. I will admit the activities we do offer are for primary age group, so we can offer build your own lighthouse, which is basically a paper template craft, and we can also offer other activities using paper or indeed the flags here to get them thinking about coding and things like that. So that's the main thing we will be offering. You will have another video from my manager who will tell you all about what she will be offering in terms of the Mrs. Grinling part. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Linda McGuigan and I'm the manager at the Museum of Scottish Lighthouses. Here at the museum we have quite an extensive learning programme. Part of that programme is aimed at P1, 2 and 3, and we run storytelling sessions specifically for the early years alongside their visit to the lighthouse, and this would be alongside our visit to your school. We use the modern classic by Rhonda and David Armitage, the Lighthouse Keepers series of books. There's the Lighthouse Keepers Lunch, there's the Lighthouse Keepers Picnic, the Lighthouse Keepers Christmas, the Lighthouse Keepers Catastrophe. There are several more in the series, all wonderfully exciting and all have quite naughty bits in them for the children, and so they get really engaged with the story. This particular one shows Mrs. Grinling, and as you can see, we are dressed for the part, and Mrs. Grinling would come to visit the school with the books and do storytelling sessions for the children. The story is a wonderful story about a lighthouse keeper and his wife who live in a white cottage on the side of a cliff. And every day Mr. Grinling goes out to the lighthouse to polish his lighthouse. Mrs. Grinling, meanwhile, back at home on the cliff side, is baking, and she makes wonderful things like peach surprise cake and iced sea biscuits. But this book can be used for a number of curriculum activities, from maths to spelling to language skills. And it's very engaging for all sorts of children. We have found that it is very engaging for children who have extra needs, and they absolutely love the fact that they hear the story at school and then come and actually meet Mrs. Grinling. So it's very, very successful. We have a seagull, and also we have a Hamish the cat, which we bring with us into school. There's Hamish the cat, and the children absolutely love this. So you could invite us to come with our loan box and with Mrs. Grinling and some of our books to do a storytelling session for you. And maybe we could bring some peach surprise cake or some iced sea biscuits. I intend to produce some recipe cards and other items to go along with the Mrs. Grinling storytelling, so you could download some activities, etc., prior to our visit to make the whole thing work a bit better for you. If you would like myself and Michael to come to your school with our loan box and with Mrs. Grinling and some of our books, then the best way to book is to telephone the museum on 01346 511 022, or email either collections@lighthousemuseum.org.uk or manager@lighthousemuseum.org.uk. lighthousemuseum.org.uk. We'd love to come and visit you. Please take advantage of this opportunity during the Lighthouse project. I think the children would gain magnificently from it. Thanks.